Hi, welcome to the 28 for 28 podcast, part of the 28 for 28 campaign by MASH Project Foundation, Bal Raksha Bharat and the High Commission of Canada. Our vision is to empower young climate change makers and give them a platform to share their stories. Today we have a very special climate change maker with us, Sarah, who has joined us all the way from Lucknow. And today we're going to learn more about Sarah's inspiring work. So Sarah, tell us about yourself and the work you do.
Okay, so I'm a climate and social justice activist working in this space since the age of 16. I am based in Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh, which is one of the most polluted and populated state in the nation. With that, I have been working for all of these things in the field of mobilization by holding such designations in Fridays for Future India, by being an active youth campaigner, and my work in the same field has been featured into numerous of platforms. I have worked in collaboration with several government departments and officials, with national and international organizations. All of this was necessary to mention to keep it much closer to the point, that is to raise awareness in the best way possible about the crisis and its solution by seeking support from these designations, positions, mediums and platforms. So all of it started when my 16-year-old version realized that something unusual was happening around me that I have not been paying attention to. So on one fine day when I was traveling somewhere, I found a kid who was running down the lane in a scorching heat and with barely some clothes on his body, where I looked upon myself and compared that I was the one who was privileged enough to ignore the fact that climate change is happening real fast.
Yeah.
So there were more incidents which were happening at that time. I kept on hearing the news of people getting attacks and getting diseases which are not even found in books and everything. So I kept on researching and went through my school books, like through the skipped environment chapters of my science textbooks that I always mention, and then I started writing blogs on air, water and plastic pollution, keeping the Uttar Pradesh as the main region. With that, I faced a lot of hurdles because people were questioning my religion, my name, my and the work I do for the environment. Just for an example, if my name is Sarah, then how can I ask people to go vegan? So these were the things which were affecting me a lot, because I had no one in my family, in my relatives, who were actually supporting me to do this work. But then during all of these struggles, when I was struggling with myself, with my mental peace, my work came under the light of organizations and people like Greta Thunberg, Disha Ravi, who actually stood by me and supported me to do more. Actually, their work supported me to do more. So that's where I began, and the moment was crucial when at that moment when I realized that something when you had no one to talk to, and to aware people of such a mental state and of such a adamant behavior where they are not even in a state to realize that something is happening, requires a lot more effort than writing few blogs. So I made up my mind and stepped out on ground. With Bhumitra initiative, we organized cleanup, plantation and riverbank cleanups, with followed by plog walks, that is a form of exercise as well as picking up the litter. And with that, with Fridays for Future India, we launched campaigns on forest, river and wildlife conservation. With Pathshala, we organized seminars on SDGs and also organized workshops on upcycling plastics. And the rest of the aspects, just like publishing articles on sustainable brands and writing about people who were following the footstep of ours and doing the phenomenal work in their regions. We wrote about them and published it on our blogging website, so that people should know about them, and so that they get light and they might work more to get those small recognitions that we always lag behind, like being an activist in India.
Yeah.
So that's where all of it was happening, and then I started using my social media as the most powerful weapon to create an impact, to educate the youths and the people of my age who are more into Instagram and scrolling, so that through interactive fun reels, I had created content with where I could showcase the sustainable brands and the fun we have on the drives we do that here in Lucknow. So this is how we are now, like we are 1,000 members of team, like working on ground every weekends in different areas of Uttar Pradesh, because we have a lot of districts. So if we are like doing work in different regions at one day, so it is making a bigger impact. And this is how I made an impact on along with my team, I would like to say, I made an impact on about 40,000 plus people across the youth.
Wow.
Yeah, like they were the students, they were the youths from different cities, schools and states, and of course the schools and colleges from different walks of life, but they were working for just one cause, and that is for saving the planet and making sure that our upcoming generations are safe. And this is how I think I'm leading the change. Thank
Wonderful.
you so much.
Thanks, Sarah, for sharing that. I would, like to also understand, see, you are very young and you started working for climate change at a very young age. So, how do you envision your future in this space? And because when it comes to climate change, a lot of people feel like that's just a hobby or that's an extracurricular. So how can people build a career, build a future, and also ensure that they are creating a positive impact on the planet?
Okay, so if you ask me, like honestly, I never thought of this climate, activism, getting this as my career. I always wanted to be a doctor, and I want to be a doctor. Of course, I'm pursuing, I'm looking for a medical college. My main motto is to make things clear that we need to take climate action. We need to take this crisis, handle this crisis, and engulf it as a habit. Like if everyone is acting responsibly, if everyone is taking climate action, I don't think so that our planet needs protection. It's already protected.
Okay.
So we don't need to make career in this. Who wants to do this for, who wants to destroy the planet? Who wants to save the planet? I think no one wants to do that. We want to save the planet because we as the youths of the nation, we have some certain responsibilities and duties that we have to fulfill. So no matter what your career or passion is, don't take this thing like it's somewhat an appeal to the people who are doing the same work. Make it your career. If you want to do it like as a full-time job, make it, but don't rely on it, because we need to end this. We are not creating, we do not want to create money out of it.
Right.
So take this crisis as a real crisis and engulf it as a habit, so that this planet doesn't needs to be protected. It's because it's already protected.
Yeah, that's very, very wisely said. Thanks, Sarah. And on that note, I would also want to hear a message from you for more young change makers. India has the highest youth population, and our youth is our future. So what is the message that you would want to give to the young people out there?
So listen up, people. As we all have might heard that we are just 6 years away to reduce emissions to stay below 1.5 years. We have heard that cyclones and floods are already destroying homes. Pollution are affecting the children and adults alike. Coral reefs are disappearing. With that, we have this wildlife going extinct. We are not in a state to wait for more consequences to happen. It's the time when we walk the talk. It's the time when we take action and we create a more equitable world for all the species, for all the communities, for all the sections of the society, underprivileged, and considering underprivileged and tribal sections of the society, which has the least of resources but are affected the most. So that now, like as we all have heard that we have to be the change to see the change. So with that note, I would like to say that we has to be consistent. We have to be something like with perfection and imperfections. We have to learn, initiate, educate, engage, empower, and be consistent in our efforts that we are doing for the planet, and to bridge the gap between the elder and younger generations. And with that, I think that is how we'll see the world is gradually changing around us. And just a message for everyone, that is, if not us then who, if not now then when. इसी को मैं हिंदी में कहती हूँ उत्तर प्रदेश में, and that is अब नहीं तो कब, हम नहीं तो कौन.
Very, 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 very wisely said. Thanks for that, Sarah. I would also want to understand from you that how do platforms like 28 for 28 help you, and how do you think we can together create a platform where more people, more young people specifically, get to work towards climate action?
So trust me, like this has been one of the most wonderful experiences of my life, and I wouldn't be here if I wouldn't have enrolled myself into 28 for 28. And after hearing such amazing stories from such young change makers who were even younger than me, who were doing phenomenal jobs in their during their study, so it's very important to create a platform where people like us can sit, connect and talk together, share ideas and implement together. Our names might be different, but somewhere deep down we all know that there is just one fight, and that is for saving the planet. And we all are connected, we all are getting connected through 28 for 28 to combat this crisis. And I think this is how we can create a better and a bigger impact on a faster pace, which is the actual need of the hour, because we have no time left to just rely on anyone, anything in this world. So this platform is really amazing, and I hope we get like we are allowed to have connected with more people, so that we can get to know more stories and their journeys, so that we can inspire ourselves and get motivated to do more and more in this field and make our planet healthier, like the only motto we have, that to make this planet cleaner and greener.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome. And on that note, my final question for you is a message that you would want to give to the world leaders. What is it that you want to convey to them?
So, since the time is less and we need more action and more people together, leaders should, take this crisis as the urgency of the situation and make this agenda of combating climate crisis as their very first priority. Leaders should impose strict implementation of rules and laws for the same, and just like including climate education from the very primary school, so that an individual knows and gains knowledge about the same, so that he or she does not contribute in destroying it. And I think they can introduce such campaigns of higher frequency, where people like us, organizations, government leaders and officials can sit, work, link and communicate, share ideas together, so that we can create a better and a bigger impact. If they are with us, they have the power. So all we need is support and implementation from the leaders, and also to promote greener jobs, to promote such things which are actually healthy for the planet. If it is done by the government, if it is done by the global leaders, if it is done by the world leaders, I don't think so that anyone would deny it. People will take it seriously as much as they have to take it. So yes, that's it. All we need is support and implementation from the leaders.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sarah. This was a very, very interesting conversation, and we look forward to your continued support, your continued action for this campaign. Thank you once again for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me here.